Guys, back working on the Mustang. My new wideband / O2 sensor showed up. For some reason, I keep frying these ones right here, and I think it has something to do with this nice puddle of water right here, or oil, or whatever that is. It's water. So I think I need to drill a hole down in there to help eradicate the water, because I think what it does is it gets some water splashed up on it right there and fouls out the sensor. It's like my third or fourth sensor. So alright, so I got this all replaced out. Not sure, I mean, I'd like to say that it's the water that's making these go bad, but I don't really know for sure. Hopefully this one lasts a little bit longer. Let's see, I got it put down in there. Got my wire put. This is my headlight harness right here. Would you look at that? Looks like I gotta fix that. Great. Alright guys, I don't have the tools here to fix that plug right now, so I'm gonna have to bring the tool home from work, and I can fix that. Let me take my hood off. Got to fix that harness, drill a hole in the exhaust pipe, and possibly mess with a few other things. So we got my terminal toolkit here from work. It's a Mac toolkit. Pretty handy. I really don't know how this held anything. Was hardly even crimped down, so that's my fault. I'm the one that did this connector a while back. Don't know how I let that slide. Let's see if I got another connector. I know I had some connectors, but I can't seem to find them, so I'm gonna make do with what I got. See if I can get this recrimped in there. The only thing I don't have is a seal, but I think I can seal it up later. So now I've got a much better crimp job on here. There's no seal, but I'll have to put one in later. That's not a big deal. Let me get 2 zip ties. Wasn't quite using the right tools for this job, but whatever gets the job done. I finally found some rubber hose for this nipple right here. It's not quite long enough, but it'll at least direct it out of the air filter. So if anything comes out of there, it won't be a huge deal. I got the rubber hose put on. Just kind of runs down here. Kind of gets the coolant away from the turbo a little bit. I need to get a catch can put on there, but for right now, that's better than it was just pointing into the air filter. So another thing that we still need to address is the water that builds up in the pipe here. I don't think there's any water in there right now. Nope, it's dried up. But I think as soon as I start it, it gets some condensation or whatever. Instead of it pooling up right there, maybe we can just drill a hole and it'll drain the water out. You can kind of see where it sits most of the time. That's what she said. See the puddle there. Alright, I think this is high enough to get a hole drilled in the exhaust pipe. Alright, we got the hole drilled out. I'm gonna have to get these metal shavings out, but I'm gonna have to mess with that hole a little bit. I didn't get it straight on the bottom, which kind of bothers me, but at least it'll let some of this water out, so it's not a huge hole. We're gonna take the wastegate off if I can. I've never taken it off with the fender on, so we'll see how that goes. It's a little tight in there. There is some condensation in here. Precision turbo. Nice quality wastegate. We're going to be changing the spring on this wastegate here. The spring that's in here is a 1 pound spring, and so this whole time I've been running the car, to make 8 pounds of boost, I just disconnected the wastegate line completely, and it made 8 pounds of boost. So now, since we want to put a boost controller on it, we are going to change the spring in order to have more control once we put the boost controller on it, because right now max you can make is 8 pounds, because that's what the spring allows for. Now, I've never taken a wastegate apart, but I don't imagine that this is going to be... I'm hoping this doesn't spring back on me. Looks like it's coming apart quite nicely. Okay, I can kind of compress this to keep it from pulling any threads out or anything like that. Oh. That's interesting. See, I thought this was a 1 pound spring, but it turns out that it's not a 1 pound spring. The yellow spring's supposed to be 5 pounds, or 4.5, or whatever. I think it's 4 pounds. This looks pretty good. I don't see a ton of issues with this here. Huh. So that's interesting. Because the spring I bought is the yellow spring. Oh, it says 3 psi. 3 psi is the yellow spring. That's interesting. I have another wastegate. Let me see what springs in there. Maybe I should just, check things before I just order things, because this wastegate on this turbo is also a yellow or 3 psi spring. So we confirmed last time that it only made about 1.5 maybe pounds of boost. So in order to get it to kind of make what we wanted to, keep in mind the car is not fully tuned yet. I still have to get that worked out because I had a poor fuel system before. But I'm just gonna have to hop online and order the right spring, I guess. 3 psi spring. So now I have 3 of them. I'm gonna pop this spring back in here and hopefully order some decent springs this time. I'll order a couple just so I don't have to go through this whole freaking problem again. Alright, so right now, since I still have the same spring, I'm going to leave the wastegate disconnected. Once I get the right spring, we can hook the wastegate back up and hopefully make the boost we want to make, and it does what it's supposed to do. Alright, so now I want to take this valve cover off, and I'd like to put an AN fitting in right here and run an AN fitting over for another breather, or maybe just run it over here. Haven't decided yet on location. I thought maybe I'd want to have both breathers together, but I'll kind of address that issue as I need to here. Well, let's zip this valve cover off. You guys can see, got the valve cover off. Not run anything too special in this motor. They are a Ford head. Those are Ford rocker arms. You can get these literally right off the Summit or whatever. Well, not these specific ones, because I don't think they make the old school SVO anymore. These are the old school style. The new ones might be slightly different, but Essentially, I think you can still get these on the internet. Real simple. I've got this hose here. And I have some spare AN fittings, and I have this valve cover adapter. So we can make a little breather setup for now. Just this hose I have isn't very long, so I'm just going to run it right over here and then put a bottle, same as the other side for now. But I'd like to order a catch can kit, and then probably some more of this hose here. Alright, I got one hose end done. I don't know if I'm going to put the other end on this side, just because I might just be sticking it in a bottle. So off camera I went ahead and drilled the hole for this. Hopefully it seals up, but not too shabby. Got the fitting all put on there. O-rings set in there. Should seal. If it doesn't, I'll have to address that. It is just a crankcase vent, so it should be fine. I just gotta put the valve cover back on now. Alright, so this is kind of the game plan. I don't exactly like this. I'll probably have to shorten up that hose later, but all this is temporary for right now until I can get something worked out, because I'd like to change this one to an AN style like that as well and get rid of that, because as you can see, it still leaks oil around it because it's just got a little it's just got a push-in little like fitting here, so I'd like to get rid of that and change it to a better sealing style. Let's check the oil. It's full. It's still a golden color. Oil looks good. Okay, so temporary for right now, just so I can still drive this if I want to. Everything, I've got more ventilation now for the crankcase, so both sides. I never really get too much to come out anyways, so there's a little bit down in there, but most of the time it stays pretty empty. But once we start pushing more boost, I was kind of worried about running into some issues with that, but as you can see, just a tad bit of water in there, but not too shabby. It mainly collects condensation. I don't really ever get any oil through there.